Ena od spremljevalnih razstav letošnjega 32. grafičnega bienala je tudi razstava Marije Bonomi za Vedno Grafika v galeriji Jakopič, ki jo je Mednarodni grafični likovni center organiziral v koprodukciji z Muzejem galerije mesta Ljubljana. Marija Bonomi je ena največjih, lahko rečem, pravzaprav ikon grafičnega sveta. Je ena od najpomembnejših umetnic na področju grafike, v Braziliji je pa tudi ena od najbolj pomembnih avtoric sodobne umetnosti in kulture nasploh. Velika, tudi pomembna promotorka brazilske umetnosti. Marija Bonomi je z Ljubljano močno povezana, saj je Ljubljana ena od prvih mednarodnih prizorišč, kjer je razstavljala že zelo zgodaj in potem kasneje tudi zelo pogosto, v 60-ih, in potem kasneje pogosto dobila je več nagrad, med njimi je najpomembnejša seveda velika nagrada grafičnega bienala v leta 1983 in potem je imela 2 leti kasneje tudi eno manjšo retrospektivo v Ljubljani. Nastopila je pa tudi kot selektorka. Leta 1999 selektorka za Brazilijo in takrat je brazilska selekcija prejela ponovno veliko nagrado bienala.
Well, I'm very happy about this exhibition. I think it's one of the most important of my life, a conclusive exhibition, since I have a special love for Ljubljana and Graphic Biennale, where I start my professional life before '67, and since then I did a lot of works all around the world, but mainly related to the knowledge I acquired here through the ages. So every time I used to come here, I used to see some works done here in Japan, in the United States, in Ljubljana, in Slovenia, in France, and everything was a big reference for me. And so it's all that story that is here now, prints from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and even recent work I've done in China, telling the story of the world, because my work is related to what's going on in the sense of social, political. My private life is very subjective, at the same time is very aggressive, because I'm complaining about a lot of things, and I love other things. I have works done with computer, that's always graphic language, and I have works done with other meanings, with laser. Is always an expansion of graphics, but graphics is an idea, is a posture, is a kind of perception, is a state of soul. So you have ballet, cinema, movies, you have painting, you have sculpture, you have installation, and you have graphics. It's an entire independent language of expression. It's a very deep intimacy and very consequent, never frivolous. You cannot do a print easily. A print is difficult, but it lasts forever and has a very deep possibility of communication, of freedom, mainly.
Razstava je na nek način pomembna tako za Mednarodni grafični likovni center kot za Marijo samo, zaradi tega, ker nekako grafični bienale Mariji nikoli ni priredil razstave takrat, ko je prejela nagrado za svojo selekcijo, ker se je takrat formula in forma bienala spremenila. Na ta način, na nek način popravljamo to, recimo, zgodovinsko napako, čeprav ne gre ravno za to. In pa seveda mislim, da je pomembno, da bienale gosti tako veliko ime svetovne grafike prav letos.
print all these works with a spoon, a bamboo spoon by hand, even the large one. I make a register and then several layers of ink, and then with the spoon I make a pressure, and then the color comes up to the paper, and then another color. So in printing you don't paint, you put layers of colors and you have the sum of those colors, and you have another color always coming out of the sum of two colors. Well, the famous green and yellow makes the blue, and so on. Here it's very visible, you can see this easily, because it's an open game. There's no tricky, no mysteries, no coming back. In printmaking you don't go back. You keep walking, and you keep doing a new experience, and you have also the resistance of the wood when you make a groove. And this is very important because it depends on your heart and your strength and the kind of wood you use. So it's a conversation, it's like a love affair. You have to have one side and the other side, and something happens in the middle. The paper is, in general, is handmade paper or Japanese, or we have also many origins of paper, because I print with a spoon, a bamboo spoon. I don't print with machines unless when I was in China. We did with a press in China. About the size of the prints, they're big because the audience today is big. And if you go to a rock show, if you go to some concert, everything now gets a new dimension. I say now because used to be prints in a table, in a small situation, in small intimacy, but we still have the intimacy of the groove, of the colors, of the transparency, but we have the big size of the communication with the big audience. At the moment, the space we live nowadays, and the possibility of moving from one place to the other easily and get acquainted with other realities. This is what explodes the size of printing. The installation, the 8 steps for the work of man, is a work with symbols that are in our everyday life. You have salt, you have sand, you have cement, you have charcoal, ground, and I love to adapt to the place where I do this installation because it's a recipe that anyone can do this installation and giving the meanings. The one I've done here talks about ourselves and ambientalism and the situation we are living now, all these people moving around the world, and the immigration and this sort of dangerous moments is all said there. You should see and you should touch it, because then you understand that. What I love to do, yesterday at midnight I was placing the layer of Slovenian earth. It's a dark, strong earth that smells very good, the forest, and the possibilities of the world. Really was very emotional about that. Is there 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 level, from down to up. It's for me a big moment to be here, and I hope to have a great contact with youngs that want to see how graphics can be done. I've started a lot of them in Brazil. I work in public art too. There is a movie. It's an entire story, and it's an entire story of possibilities that anyone has who loves graphic art.